Hi there and welcome to video 5 in the Internet Marketing Starter series, and as you can see, continuing on from our last video, our domain now has pointed and we have a blank website. This is there's no files in here, it's all gone. So we have a blank website and we need to lock this up because right now this is publicly viewable and we need to go make some changes, add some email accounts. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now to do that, with HostGator, we have a control panel called cPanel, and what we'll do up here is we'll just append the end of our domain name with cPanel, and it'll ask us for a login. Now, our login is poolbob and our password, and we'll click OK, and we'll be presented with the control panel. Now, if you're not using HostGator or you're using some other control panel, with GoDaddy or some other website service, they all have their own control panels and should have very similar features. You've just got to go through the tutorials if they provide them, or ask in the forums that are with the web host, or even contact customer service and find out where that information may be. But with HostGator, we have a very, very slick back end that will allow us to do a lot of things. I'll give you a very brief tour. You have all these center sections which can kind of group together similar kind of functions and features. For example, all the mail stuff is in this section under mail, and you can actually move these around if you want to, so you get the more higher priority stuff at the top. Now, one thing to mention is you've got the billing system here, which shows you about the credit cards if you need to make payments, change invoice information or contact information for your invoices, or even your credit card information. You click on here. If you want to add some features to your account, for example SSL certificates, and just click on there. These are all the kind of account add-ons you can set up, and there's some of them are charged, but if you have the business account, some of these are free. Make sure you mention that to them, and you can actually contact their live support through the HostGator.com website and request those directly. You also got the FAQs and website templates. They have a large array of existing website templates, which are a great design resource, and they're yours free as part of your account. So I thought I'd better mention that. And they also have an online forum and ticket system. These are kind of the primary HostGator stuff, so you can access that. They also give you some special offers up here. And Doba, if you remember from video 2, here's an example of them and their advertising, trying to attract your attention from the back end. However, what we're going to do is go through the rest of this and set up a mail account, but before I do, I just noticed I should mention you also have the Site Builder and Site Studio, which I mentioned in, I think, video 3 when we were setting this up originally, and you can start building your website right here. I don't recommend it. I'm going to show you some alternatives, but this is how you access that. But anyway, getting back to mail, we're going to set up some email accounts, and you see this button here, so click on that. And the first one you should always set up is the admin account, and let the computer catch up with me, and we also create a password. Now, as I say, you can set your you have unlimited resources here, so you could set it as 250 megabytes, which is quite large, or you can even create yourself a 7.2 gigabyte email, just like you did with Gmail. It's whatever you like. So anyway, go ahead and click Create, and here's something really cool. This actually gives you some automatic configuration options for common mail programs, such as Outlook and Mail app. And if you click on Yes, I'm going to show you. These are actually files that will download to your computer, and you can double click on them, and for example, Microsoft Outlook or Outlook Express, it uses what's called a registry file. And if you double click that registry file once it's downloaded on your system, it will actually configure that account with whichever mail program you're using. Now, I'm not sure whether the auto configure for Outlook 2000 will work on 2003, 2007, or Windows Mail for Vista. I have never tried that. I usually set it up manually with this information down here, but give it a shot and see if it works for you. And also you have Mac Mail here as well, which uses IMAP and stuff like that. So now down here is your actual setup configuration information. We have your username, which is always going to be the full account, admin plus poolcarecleaning.com, or you can actually swap that for an @ symbol, so it's like an email address, admin @ poolcarecleaning.com. You have your incoming mail server and your outgoing mail server. Now, if you have an ISP that forces you to use their outbound SMTP or anything like that to get your email, you can actually change the port to 26 and use your own mail server routing, and you bypass that completely. And we'll not really go through, there's so many mail clients out there, I'm not going to go through every single one. Find the instructions for your particular system. There are plenty of articles about that online for you, whichever mail client you actually use. But this is the contact information you'd actually put in there and substitute with those relevant sections. So the information you need is your username, obviously the password, and your incoming mail server and your outgoing mail server. And this all supports POP3, POP3S, etc, etc, etc. So there you go. That's set up one account. And what we'll do real quick is we'll also set up two other ones. We'll set up the info, and let my computer catch up with me. Make sure those two passwords match, and they're fairly secure. Anything above 50% is pretty good. And we'll create that. And in this case, we're not going to configure that. We've just been through that. And which one did I create? Info, and the other one we'll create, I guess, is sales. Now you can create as many as you like for your staff or what have you, or your personal, put your personal name in there. Whatever you like, but there's three very quick emails already set up. All you have to do is configure them with your mail client, or you could go keep your mail online. I'm going to show you that real quick. Open up a new tab. If you want to check your mail online, you can go to let's get that going, poolcarecleaning.com/webmail. And as you can see, I've already logged in just to make sure this works. But you can put in your email account and your password, which I know I've changed the password since I did this. And what that will give you is you'll get three options. You can check your email online with Horde, or Squirrel Mail, which is a very simple one, or Roundcube. Now, Roundcube, for some reason, it's not working at the moment, and I've got a ticket in with HostGator about that. But let's just show you with Squirrel Mail. And this is basically very, very simple email client. You can check your email from anywhere in the world, and you leave, if you leave a copy on the server, and you can compose email, you can forward email, you can do whatever you like, and it's a very simple client. And real quick, I'll show you Horde, which also has kind of a contact manager and day planner and calendars and all sorts of kind of stuff. And if I just click on that, you can see here's a monthly calendar. You can search Google with it, and you got your mail here. No new messages, but very, very powerful little tool. And so you can check your mail online, or you can configure it through your mail client on your own computer, whichever way you'd like to do it. And also you can change your password here, set forwarding options and autoresponders if you're on vacation. You can configure your mail client using this option here. We also have what's called Box Trapper, which is kind of like a spam filter. You can actually create your own rules at the server level, so it never even makes it to your computer. And all sorts of other bits and pieces like that. So there you go. You can check your mail online anywhere you like. And let's close that. And there we go. We've set up some email. Now, one thing I'm going to show you, which is a nice little trick I do. Scroll back, click on Home. I always like to forward my primary emails to my external account, just for backup purposes. Now, you see forwarders here. If you click on that, what we'll do is we'll set up a forward from all the admin email to our Gmail account. Let me show you that. So put in admin, and then we're going to forward that to poolcleanerbob@gmail.com. And if we click on add that, any email now going to admin@poolcarecleaning.com will also go to our Gmail account. And that's a very useful thing. If you have any very important emails, maybe you've signed up for some accounts, an SSL certificate, or any other really important information you want to store, you also have a backup copy with your Gmail account. So there's a little tip for you. And if we click on Home, we're pretty much set up with our email. Now, what else do we have that we need to pay attention to? Well, let me show you over here. You have a kind of a quick summary of website traffic. Now, we're a brand new website and we have no data, so we have no visits, but this will give you a quick summary of traffic on your website. But you can also check, if you scroll down here to the logs, you also have AW stats, which again we have no information right now, so there's nothing to show you. But we'll look at this later on and start monitoring our traffic, and that gives you detailed statistics about not only who's come to your website, how long they were on there, what browser they were using, how they got to your site, in other words, which website they were referred from, and also any search engine keywords that they used to get to you. So you can start seeing trends and possible keywords that you're starting to rank for or people are actually looking for you with. But let's go ahead, and as we saw, currently our website is wide open to the public, and we don't want that. We don't want them seeing a blank page like this while we're working. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to lock it up so that we have to use a username and password while we're building. That way only we have access, or we grant access to certain people while we're building. Now, so HostGator provides you with several useful tools, and one of them is this File Manager. Now if you click on File Manager, wait for that to open, it'll ask you which directory you want to start with. Start with the home directory, and I also always select show hidden files, and then I skip that, so it won't show me that in the future, and it will always start at this point. Now there are several folders here. The one we're going to protect to stop people publicly seeing our website is the public_HTML. And just so you, in case you're wondering why we also have a www folder, this one actually links to this. So this is the one we need to change. So if we right click on this and then we click password protect, it'll ask us to protect this folder. It'll confirm which one it is there. So select password protect this, and we'll call it development, and click save. Now this is now a password protected folder, but what we need to do is create a username and password to actually access this. So if we click the go back, we can now create, we'll just call it Bob, and we'll put in a password. And click add modified authorized user, and it'll say, hey, your user Bob now has a password of cleanit22. Great. So if we click back here, go back, we just want to confirm that and verify that Bob is there with his password, and our website is now going to be protected with a username and password. Now we can close this because we're done with this for now, and we'll close this as well, and we'll come back over here. Now, if you want to back up your entire website, we have nothing really to back up right now. But if you want to back up your website, you can actually click on the backup wizard, and you can make a full copy of your entire website. This includes the home directory, the email accounts, and the databases and everything. And to do that, just click on backup wizard, click on backup, and it'll ask you whether you want to do a full backup or if you want to just select partial backups. Now, the restore option allows you just to either select a home directory backup, a MySQL directory, or email forwards and filters and everything else, but I always do a full backup. I like to have these files just in case. And I always store it in the home directory, and you can see I've already got it saved here, but it knows I want to send any emails when it's completed to my Pool Cleaner Bob account. If I just click on generate password, we've got very little to back up. We have no files or no emails right now, so that will be done really quick. Now let's go back to here, and sure enough, look, in that time it says backups available for download. I can actually click on that right now, and there you go, save it to our desktop just for safety's sake. Now if you have a big file with a lot of website files, a lot of media, and a lot of emails, that's going to take a wee while to copy down, and you'll see that you'll get an email with that notification eventually. So there you go. Okay, so what else are we going to do? We're pretty much set up and ready to start creating a website now. So let's cover any other little nuggets of information that you should know about in here. Here's some basic stuff for security, setting up hotlink protection stuff. That's a little bit beyond what we're going to do in this. We don't want to bore you with the really geek stuff, but you can create subdomains and add on actual domains. So you can have, this is where you have your unlimited domains. This is your database configuration, and we'll use this later on with some of the websites we're going to work about. And there's some also some Apache handlers and all the kind of geek stuff. If you're heavily into web hosting and you know what you're doing, then you probably wouldn't be watching this video. But here's all the real geek stuff. This is where people like me start salivating and start customizing. It's like taking a hot rod into a chop shop. You know, we start ripping things apart and you know, customizing everything like crazy. But those are the basic pieces of information you need to worry about. And you're now set up, ready to start loading up a website or creating a website. And in the next videos, we're actually going to set up FTP and some other tools so that you can start creating your website, customizing websites. And later on, we're going to split this, we're going to fork this video tutorial series into installing blogs, a content management system, and an e-commerce. So that's going to be in the next few videos. And I will see you in the next one, which is going to be setting up FTP.